I'm delighted to welcome to the show Scott Baradell, who is going to talk with us all about why we mistrust our mainstream media. He has an interesting idea onto why that is. By the way, he's the author of Trust Signals, Brand Building in a Post-Truth World. And Scott, isn't that the real reason they lie to us?
Well, let's just say they have very slanted perspectives that are generally put across as news in most cases, and people don't like it.
And people don't like the word lie either, so I'll be kinder to you. They're economical with the truth.
Well, it's funny that you should mention the word lie, because that was a big turning point in how things have gotten so bad, and that is that in the campaign of 2016, there was a lot of debate, you might remember, over mainstream outlets using the term lie to describe statements by Donald Trump that were called into question. And because traditionally, an objective news media and newspapers, and gosh, that's what I go back to, days when there was at least an attempt to be objective, you would never in a news article call something a lie, because with a lie, you assume you know someone's intent, and you can't know the person's intent. Someone might make a misstatement. They might say something that's not true, but that's different from a lie. Same thing with racism. It used to be if someone made a statement that was controversial around race, you might call it a racially charged statement. Now, you can't see an article about Donald Trump, for example, or J.D. Vance, where the word racist isn't thrown around. And these are terms that used to be considered pejoratives that objective news media wouldn't use, but now they're used every day.
Well, you brought up 2016, and we had Russian collusion, Russia. Entirely untrue. Some reporters received Pulitzers for their reporting. They have not returned them. I find that astonishing. I'm absolutely honored to be a Marconi nominee. Okay, I was a Marconi nominee. For those of you who don't know, that's kind of radio Oscars. They are very, very rare things. They don't throw them around like confetti. So I'm truly honored. But if I'd have been nominated for a Marconi Award for something that turned out to be untrue, I would ask them to remove my name from the history of receiving Marconi nominations. They proudly got these things on their mantle for a story that was entirely untrue.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that's tricky, because there was no question that the Putin government and Russians did want Trump to win. But that's different from being able to prove that Trump and his campaign were actively involved, which was not proven. And you can take a story like that, like the Russians wanting Trump to win, which was true, and things they did to help Trump win, which was true, and then kind of overplay it, take it over the top, add elements that are questionable at best, along with things that are verified facts, and suddenly you've got a distorted version of the truth. And I think we see that on both sides.
Well, it's. I think this is the main reason, but you think the main reason might be because we're so polarized?
Well, for sure, because frankly, one of the reasons why the mainstream media went crazy when Trump was nominated in 2016 was because Trump was coming from the whole Fox News universe, let's say, the whole conservative side of things, in terms of a lens on what was going on in the world. And we hadn't had a candidate like that. Mitt Romney wasn't like that. John McCain wasn't like that. And so you have this reaction and counter-reaction with two totally different perspectives on things. And in the public, that's all you see. You go into your rabbit hole and you only see that one side of the news. You never actually see the other side, except when you want to ridicule it. And there's very little attempt for people to actually have dialogue with each other to find middle ground or find where the misunderstandings are. So that's the challenge.
It's a conversation we have on a fairly regular basis here. We're different people than we were not that long ago. We're talking to Scott Baradell. He's the author of Trust Signals, Brand Building in a Post-Truth World. Scott, thank you very much for coming on. We appreciate you. You have yourself a fabulous rest of the day. We will talk again soon.